Hey, how you doing everybody? My name is CherryBoy and welcome back to Inugami Doggy Dojo. Now let's get right back into it. I'm so full. My, baking those fish was absolute perfection. Tomei-sama caressed her now slightly rounded belly with satisfaction and smiled. We had started a small fire and baked all the fish we caught, and then proceeded to eat them. I tried to eat delicately, but Tomei-sama had been quite the sight. To behold, just gnawing that thing down. As to be expected of an Inugami, she had been true to her wild self and downed each fish she ate in its entirety, eating the meat, swallowing the head, and crunching the bones. Anyways, so, I was still nibbling on my last fish and wasn't quite done yet. But I glanced over at Tomei-sama hesitatingly. I'm well aware, so stop peering at me with those puppy dog eyes. Can you not even take the time to casually enjoy a meal before engaging in the sensual pleasures? It's just, I mean, yeah. My gaze dropped down between my legs, having received nothing but stimulation since last night. My thingling was standing valiant and proud, even more than my worst morning. Yeah. The fact that we were getting so close to carrot time didn't help at all. As much as I nibbled and chewed on my fish, my mind was so excited over what Tomei-sama and I were going to do, I couldn't even taste it! Oh, jeez, man. I must have a problem with my thingling. I don't think it should be up this much. Sorry, like, it's whatever. To see you so consumed by desire. It's enough to make me not want to do it. It's enough to make me not want to do it. Yeah. No way! But the agreement! Hey now, a man who aims to be a martial artist, he does not allow himself to cry pathetic tears like a child, even as a joke. Such a hopeless pup you are. Tomei-sama gave a light laugh and smiled wryly as she stood up from our fire and took a seat on a nearby boulder. It's just, I mean, I did the watas and everything. I cut the fish. Worry not, I have my pride as an Inugami, and will not once permit myself to be such a coward as to go back on that which has been promised. But, before that, let's give you one more bit of training. More training? Oh. I was already so excited I couldn't eat. If I had to wait any longer, I felt like I was gonna go insane! Be not afraid. I dare say even you will be able to find the enjoyment in this training, Kazuma. Okay, what's going on? Okay, yeah, okay, I know you're trapped, game. Okay, yeah, yes, I shall see your morning kill. What the heck? Oh, okay, okay, yeah, that's what I can't read any of this. Okay. Now I shall read. Oh, God. Okay, blah, 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 okay, but smell, okay, you know, there is no story. I'm on a bit of a rough spot right now with YouTube. I don't think it's necessary for me to see any of this. Okay, okay, yes, I figure blah 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 blah. Yeah, really? I think I could keep going some more. Like a lot more. I brought it up casually, trying my best to sound nonchalant. I mean, it didn't look like Tomei-sama was satisfied yet, for one, and for two, after having been teased for so long, I really was ready to do it again, and again, and again! Again and again! Hell, I keep doing it until I passed out, and yet... Nope, today we will call it here. Okay. Ignoring my stammering protest, Tomei-sama got her clothes back in order and stood up. With that last bit, you shall you shall have enough love that even I'm satisfied, Kazuma. Nah. Okay, move that. With that last bit, you shot off enough love that even I am satisfied. Kazuma, boy, you must focus on your vigor training as well, and build up plenty of experience. Focus on my vigor training? If that's the case, then why not right now? I could go some more, and... If we enjoy ourselves too much, then your spirit will weaken and falter. Be not in a hurry, take it slow, and let us continue this practice in between your martial arts training. But, hey, is this more of your teasing? Okay, there we go. We're back. Yeah. If you really wish to do with me as much as you desire, then learn well from both our vigor and martial arts lessons, and quickly prove you have indeed become a worthy man. Oh, that's brutal, Tomoe-sama. Hey now, a worthy man does not let himself speak with such a pitiable voice. Alright, we'll take a brief break, and then it'll be time for your next training. I'm so pitiful. That's brutal, Tomoe-sama. This time we will not be catching fish from a stream, but hunting beasts in the forest. Alright, that's what Z says, she said. This time we will not be catching fish from a stream, but hunting beasts in the forest. In the least, I would like to catch enough to let us build a stockpile of food. That said, you should look to fill a boar, or a bear. That said, you should look to fill a boar, or a bear. Wait just a minute! Wait just a minute, Tomoe-sama, please! You mean you want me to hunt creatures like that? With no tools or weapons or anything? You're kidding me! If you really do intend to become a martial artist, boy, then the killing of a bear is not too great a challenge at all. Okay, stand up and put on your clothes. We're off! With that, Tomoe-sama raced off, bouncing to the forest before I could say another word. I had just enough time to catch sight of her backside before she was gone. The booty! Her silvery tail was swishing left and right happily as it trailed behind her, and in between her legs, I guess we really are putting it off again. I stood up, clenching my teeth and swallowing my saliva as I tried to get my boiling desire back in check. Here we go. My body was still flooded with pleasure from my first time, and I would have loved to be able to relish it even more, but there was no time. What's wrong, Kazuma? If you want to be this slow following me, I'll have to put off your vigor training entirely. Please forget my tardiness! Over right there, so just hold on! Hold on! There was nothing for it. I'd have to do as Tomoe-sama said and give it all I had. I jumped a bit in place to prep myself up and shake off the last traces of lovey-dovey, and then took off after Tomoe-sama. Hey, Kazuma, wake up, would you? Come now, just how long do you tend to lay here asleep? The sun has long since risen into the sky. I stirred in my sleep. I was dreaming, but even in my dream I could hear Tomoe-sama's irritated voice shouting at me. Wait, what was the dream? Was all that just happened a dream? She wanted me to get up, and even asleep I knew I had to, but as much as I knew it, my body steadfastly refused to comply. It was still exhausted and heavy, far too tired to even want to try waking up. I couldn't blame it, as worn out as I was. Even the straw matting I was using for bed was starting to feel pretty damn comfortable. Nope, it wasn't bad at all. Honestly, what a hopeless whelp you are. A good pupil would not indulge in such slothfulness. A good people will not indulge in such slothfulness. So come now. Get up. So come now. Get up. Jump. I'm up. Stop biting me. Let go of my neck, please. My neck. Ouch. As exhausted as my body had been, the sudden pain searing through my body was the scruff of my neck got me out of bed quite easily. Tomoe-sama had bitten me again, chomping her sharp fangs down on my flesh as hard as she could to wake me up. Finally awake, are you? Honestly, I have a mind to eat you for breakfast right here. Please forgive me, and please don't bite me. I'm just really tired from yesterday's training. I sat amongst the straw and sighed. I had slept soundly the whole night though, but I was still weary from all the exercise we'd done yesterday. Okay, so everything's normal. After the fun of my first experience, Tomoe and I had gone to the forest for more training. From morning to dusk, we'd gone around hunting for game, all in the name of more martial arts training practice. Moving through the forest wasn't easy going to begin with. But Tomoe-sama had kept me running all the time. Not only that, but it had taken her long to come across wild boar and deer, and she made me go after them, all on a morning meal of a few fish. Yeah, my body's still stiff and aching from all that practice we did. Sorry. No surprise at that. A man can only take so many boar tusks to the abdomen and deer antlers to the butt before it gets a little painful. Ouch! Secret technique. But that wasn't even the worst of it. Oh no. The finale had been a fun game of tag between me and a large bear we had happened to come across. Honestly, I was amazed that I even survived it at all. I was amazed I even survived it at all. I was seriously impressed. Like, wow, go me. Yeah, go me. What's this? Saying all that practice? Yesterday's training was not but a fun bit of sport to do while hunting, no? That was not but a fun bit of sport to do while hunting, no? If that was a fun bit of sport, then no way am I going to be able to survive your actual training. Then no way am I going to be able to survive your actual training. I'm going to die as soon as it begins. I'm still pretty much a novice, Tomoe-sama, so please try to go at least a little easier on me. Tomoe-sama was acting like yesterday hadn't been more than a trifle. But me, I was practically on my knees, begging to not have to repeat it. Really, as impressed as I was at myself for having survived it at all, even more impressive was Tomoe-sama. She'd been running around the forest and fighting large beasts even more than I'd been, but this morning, she was still as lively as ever, like it hadn't even affected her. It was amazing. Probably because she's like, wolf girl, Inugami. Or dog girl, yeah. I suppose it was to be expected from an Inugami, human that I was. I guess her physiology was just that much different from mine. Yada yada. We've not even begun yet. But already you're espousing your weakness. Well, that is fine. Anyways, come. Get up and dress yourself. Starting today, we begin the real training. The real training? You don't mean not hunting again? We have adequate food stocks now, so we can take a break from hunting for the time being. Starting today, I myself will begin instructing you in the basics of the martial arts. I'll be learning directly from you, Tomoe-sama? Indeed. In my 1,000-year lifespan, I've managed to acquire a number of martial arts which I will assuredly beat into you. I will not allow you to give up partway. Follow it through to the end, whelp! I will not allow you to give up partway. Follow it through to the end, whelp! You say that, but the image of yesterday's hard hunting session still clung to my mind. For all Tomoe-sama's words, I don't think I could agree to something like that again so easily. If everything was going to be as harsh as that was, then I think I might actually prefer just going home and getting beaten up by dad. Of course, once you sufficiently complete your martial arts training, afterwards we will continue training your vigor as well. So look forward to that. I'll do it! I'll follow through immediately! Whatever hardships may come, no matter the difficulty, I will absolutely see this test through to the end! Yes! Kazuma, you are really an easy to understand man, aren't you? Yeah, I'm kind of amazed at it myself. Well, it's meant to give you a drive to succeed, so it's not like it's a bad thing. Come now, let's depart. Hey, wait a minute, Tomoe-sama! Man, is she impulsive? Well, as much as I didn't want to, I guess I was gonna do it. For the sake of more vigor training with Tomoe-sama, I would do my best to learn her martial arts. My muscles still ached beyond measure, but I could endure. I would endure. I had that vigor training to look forward to, and when I thought of that, somehow I knew I could get through this. Muttering a brief apology to my tired and aching body, I ran out of the cavern after Tomoe-sama. Sorry, body, just go hold on a little bit longer. Alrighty, on the beach. Alright. It's about time we get started on some genuine training. Outside of the cool cavern, I found Tomoe-sama waiting for me on the sandy beach, a broad smile on her face. She certainly was motivated. Yeah, okay, so just what is this genuine training you've got planned, Tomoe-sama? Yes, good question. For beginners, what say we work on that way? Yes, good question. For beginners, what say we work on that way you're addressing me? Huh? The way I'm addressing you? That's right. Starting from today, when we are training like this, you should show me proper respects and call me Master. Okay, but, why exactly? Because by calling me that, it will further build a notion that you are indeed training, don't you think? No need to hold back. Go ahead and try it. Tomoe-sama's face was all smiles as she answered my question. Oh, she's been wanting somebody to call her Master for a long time. Alright. Blowing a lot of air on this. Alright, here we go. Build the notion? Really? I sighed. For a 60 in his round, I guess she looked. Tomoe-sama sure did have a childish side, didn't she? Tomei-sama sure did have a childish side, didn't she? Tomei-sama sure did have a childish side, didn't she? Didn't she? Alright, honestly, to think this was the conduct of an Inugami who had lived over 1,000 years. Hey! Hey, Tomei-sama! I've said this before, please stop biting me! Fool! How many times have I said this before? Time after time I've warned you about impertinent thoughts. You simply don't learn. Honestly, we'll have to bite that arm of yours clean off before you actually remember for once? Honestly, we'll have to bite that arm of yours off. How's that? Okay. Honestly, we'll have to bite that arm of yours clean off. Okay, one more time. Honestly, we'll have to bite that arm of yours clean off before you actually remember for once? Please forgive me! I swear, please forgive me! I swear this time I wasn't thinking anything weird, honestly! Please, master! Giving my right hand to try to relieve the pain from her bite, I tried my best to pacify the angered Inugami. It's alright so long as you understand. So long as you understand. Master, eh? Yes, that doesn't sound bad at all, does it? That doesn't sound bad at all, does it? Being called that. And just like that, it seems my tactical use of the title Master had put her back in good spirits. Yes. To think such a simple act. Careful, Kazuma, careful! That was risky! I'd almost thought something that would make Tomei-sama mad again! Careful, Kazuma! Careful, Kazuma, careful! Careful, SpongeBob, careful! That was risky. I'd almost thought something that would make Tomei-sama mad again. That's done. Now that that's done, let's see. What should I try to teach you? Quite the predicament. Tomei-sama crossed her arms and pondered out loud. Apparently she was giving serious consideration to the topic at hand. If last night's hunting exercise training was any indication, no doubt she was trying to think of something unimaginably hard. I bet she's gonna make me swim back to home and then swim back, or catch a shark, or fight a whale, something like that. Or catch a whale, fight a shark, something like that. I waited with increasing concern, feeling more and more like a prisoner awaiting his sentencing. His death sentencing! That's it. First, I think we ought to have you practice the basics of movements, hadn't we? Movements? Any kind in particular? Like how I carry myself, or specific stances? That's right. Let's begin with the reading of and reacting to an opponent's movements. If they move with a sa-sa sort of motion, and then go to attack with a ga, if they move with a sa-sa sort of motion, and then go to attack with a ga, Master, these sa and ga movements you're talking about, I don't have any idea just what they are. These sa and ga movements you're talking about, I don't have any idea just what they are. This would be difficult indeed. Educating via language. Or via language. Like this! Or, no, how should I say it? I just can't put it clearly! This is so irritating! Hey, don't get worked up now. Please, just calm down! I'm afraid she's about to bite me. Tomei-sama was so vexed by the language problem, she had begun stamping her feet into the sand, and I hurried to try and calm her. You say that, but it's just so frustrating! Tomei-sama, could it be, is this your first time actually teaching someone martial arts like this? Well, that is to say... I asked the question as delicately as I could, and Tomei-sama faltered for a response. The way she had been talking earlier, I'd figured she had mountains of experience with this sort of thing, but now that I saw this... oh my. Why do you gaze so with those eyes? So I haven't any experience training. My strength is still real enough. Though I may lack here, and know that in all my 1,000 years, never once have I lost down a challenge from another martial artist. Never once have I lost down a challenge from another martial artist. It's just when I try to think of how I ought to impart my knowledge, nothing is coming to mind. Nothing is coming to mind is all. Well, if you can't think of how to teach me, then how exactly can you teach me? Tomei-sama had been shouting so much I couldn't help but raise my voice back. Okay, so, well, if you can't think of how to teach me, then how exactly can you teach me? It's just, when I try to think of how I ought to impart my knowledge, nothing is coming to mind is all. That Tomei-sama had been shouting so much I couldn't help but raise my voice back. Oh man, this sucks. If this is how it's gonna be, I don't think I'm gonna get even the tiniest bit of training here. And if I don't get you training here, I'll never get the bigger training. But, If I didn't train to get stronger, then there was no way I could manage to get Dad to acknowledge me, right? That was no good. Oh, I've got it! If putting the moves into words is too difficult, then what if you just show me? If you train me like that, I'm sure it'd be easy for me to grasp it. That is an option, isn't it? Sure enough. That is also a tried and true teaching method. Tomoe-sama considered my suggestion, and then nodded her head approvingly. Then it's decided. That decided? I suppose I should show you a move, shouldn't I? I suppose I should, yeah. That decided? I suppose I should show you a move, shouldn't I? Tomoe-sama nodded to herself, and then suddenly her expression hardened and she leaned forward, her legs bent and arms loose, but still at the ready, her eyes fixed on me, shining bright, but stern. This wasn't your usual fighting stance, no. This was the posture of a carnivorous animal. Readying itself to strike its... Let me do this again. Tomoe-sama nodded to herself, and then suddenly her expression hardened and she leaned forward, her legs bent and arms loose, but still at the ready, her eyes fixed on me, shining bright, but stern. This wasn't your usual fighting stance. No, this was the posture of a carnivorous animal, readying itself to strike its prey. Whelp! Gaze upon my movements and let the image of them sear into your memory. This is the way you regard your opponent. You must always watch them and take note of their breathing. Strike with your whole body and search for it to drive your blows home. Whoa. I watched in awe as Tomoe-sama started her final sequence. She began with a valiant shout, but I swear it was a ruse, because even before I could react to her voice, she was off like a shot. She kicked off the sand with both feet, closing the distance between us with the speed of a bullet. Just out of the range of my body, she seamlessly transitioned from a lunge into a flurry of straight kicks. Tomoe, using the using the intertia of her body, drove the heel of her right foot, then her left foot, then right again, straight through the gap between us. She was stuffing her legs so hard and so fast, it was like the very air itself was being cut to ribbons. With the last loud yell, she pushed off and leapt into the sky. With the last loud yell, she pushed off and leapt into the sky. Hair and tail fluttering through the air behind her like the tail of a silver comet, she began to plummet back to Earth. And then she vanished. I'd kept my eye on her the entire time, watching in total awe. She soared through the air, but then she had just disappeared. And the very next instant, I felt a gentle softness pressing against my back, and noticed a slender white arm was wrapping itself around my neck from behind me. And if you see a chance to make a kill, never pass it up. A stray blow is one thing, but if you grapple your opponent, you can reach their vitals much easier and bring about their fall. I see. Turning my head as much as I could with Tomoe-sama's arms wrapped around it, and trying my best to ignore the softness of her breast pressing against my back, I give a slight nod that yes, I understood. Going out and directly showing you the skills like this, it's much more fun than simply detailing them with words. So what do you think? Have you managed to grasp at least a little of my lesson? I think I got it, or at least I kind of got it, more or less. More or less? Tomoe-sama let go jovially. Jovially? Yeah, jovially. Tomoe-sama let me go jovially, and I gave a sheepish smile and scratched my head as I fumbled for an answer. The truth was, Tomoe-sama's movements had been pretty tricky to follow, and she had gone so fast. I felt like a lot of the time my eyes hadn't been on her, but had been chasing her. I felt like a lot of the time my eyes hadn't been on her, but had been chasing her. As we expected from an Inugami's abilities were far beyond the limits of a human, and Tomoe-sama used them to move in ways I hadn't thought possible. She had moved like the wind, but had made sure to keep a discerning eye on me the entire time, never once letting herself get distracted. I was her opponent after all. So even as she did all those impressive moves, she was watching my movements. Oh my god, I need some air. Oh boy, this is the game. I was her opponent after all. So even as she did all those impressive moves, She was watching my movements and monitoring my breath, using the natural rhythms of my body to get a read on me. When I looked up in awe, she saw her opportunity and swiftly went in for the kill, knowing I was too overwhelmed to possibly react. She had said that in all her 1,000 years, she had never once lost out to a rival martial artist. Seeing that marvelous display of movement, I could definitely believe it. But for me to try to do that, just to try to mimic her display. Sorry. But for me to try to do that, to try to mimic her display, it would be pretty hard to say the least. Maybe even impossible. Alright, if seeing it let you grasp it, then go ahead and try it yourself. Come now, envision me as your prey, and come at me like I just showed you. What? You mean, what? You mean, like, right now? What? You mean, like, right now? It's not training if you only stand around watching, is it? Come on. No need to hold back. Come with the intent to topple me to the ground. All right, if you say so. I had usually zero confidence I'd be able to do anything near what Tomoe had. I absolutely had zero confidence I'd be able to do anything near what Tomoe-sama had. But I had come this far, so there was no turning back now. Nope. I'm in it to win it. So there was no turning back now. I took a deep breath and thought back on how Tomoe-sama had moved. I lowered my posture, preparing myself. Right, first I would leap towards her, using my body like a spring to close the distance between us. Here I go, master! Whoa, pretty fast there, aren't you? But what if I do this? Using all the force I could muster, I had jumped towards Tomoe-sama. She raised her eyebrows at the sight of my speed, but before I could reach her, she slightly bounded out of the way, sidestepping my attack entirely. Hey now, what's this? If you simply fling your arms about wildly like that, you're only going to tire yourself out. Hey now, what's this? If you simply fling your arms about wildly like that, you're only going to tire yourself out. Right. That's good. Not as bad as I'd been expecting. But your movements. That's good. Not as bad as I'd been expecting. But your movements, they're so dull. I have to go to the left and right more than I've been. I remember the way Tomoe-sama had moved. Her speed and agility. I could practically see it on the inside of my eyelids. That was my goal. That was what I had to be like. Yes, we must train like Ippo. I focused on my movements, letting the memories Tomoe-sama dictate my actions more than my mind. I didn't have time to think. I needed to act. A lunge here, a strike there, a kick or a punch, whichever flowed best with the situation at hand. That's it. You are still a far cry from matching my movements. Come on, see if you can attack even faster. I can just pull that out of my ass. Tomoe-sama laughed happily to see my fervor and tauntingly urged me to go even quicker. I wasn't about to stop now. The image of her movements from before were buried into my brain, and I imitated them as best as I could, and continued to I wasn't about to stop now. The image of her movements from before were burned into my brain, and I imitated them as best I could as I continued attacking frantically. Okay. Just flinging my arms red. What is it? Tired already? My, what an undisciplined whelp you are. Yeah, I'd say so too. But, Master. I was down on my knees, panting in front of Tomoe-sama. I was dead tired, but I noticed Tomoe-sama was smiling as I stared up at her. We had begun our training immediately after breakfast and continued on as the sun climbed high above the horizon. It was almost directly overhead now, and we still hadn't stopped. It must have been around 9 o'clock or so when we started. So we had to have been at it for almost 3 hours. 3 hours of me trying. Let me tell you. It must have been around 9 o'clock or so when we started. So we've been at it for almost 3 hours. 3 hours of me trying to imitate Tomoe-sama's nimble and fleet-footed movements without a single decent break.
My body was awash with sweat. It stung my eyes and drenched my skin. It looked as though someone had just taken a bucket of water and dumped it over my head. And dumped it out over my head. And yet, as sweaty as I was, Tomoe-sama looked totally fine. She'd been moving just as much as I had. But she didn't even have a drop of sweat on her. That was weird. I mean, she probably had more training with it, you know, so it doesn't faze her.
As to be expected, we'll need to work on your basic muscle build as well. Your stamina has ways to go too. And your strength and agility both are not yet sufficient. Well, as long as we don't miss a day and continue training. Well, so long as we don't miss a day and. So long as we don't miss a day. So long as we don't miss a day and continue training like this, all that should end.
Oh my god, sorry for I'm just out of breath right now. Okay, we're done. Here we go.
Well, so long as we don't miss a single day and continue training like this, all of that should improve naturally.
Yeah. Okay. What did I eat?
But for all that, if your memorization wasn't fast indeed. Though you are still rather unskilled, sometimes your reactions were good enough to impress even me. Were good enough to impress even me.
Were they? They were, huh? I wasn't really sure what I was doing myself, but what I was doing. Were they? They were, huh? I wasn't really sure what I was doing myself half the time, but. Oh god.
Though this is my first time actually training another, with this I think I too might have shown my mettle for being called.
Oh my god.
With this I too.
Oh, sorry. Oh my god, I'm feeling lightheaded now. Please just finish. Okay.
Though this is my first time actually training another, with this I think I too might have shown my mettle for being called master.
Tomoe-sama smiled happily as I recovered my breath and finally managed to stop panting. I had to think about what she said. I mean, she might have shown her mettle, but really, pretty much all she did was show me the movements. But really, pretty much all she did was show me the movements, and then had me copy them from there. Now that I thought about it, that was actually a lot like how my old man liked to teach. Now that I thought about it, that was actually a lot like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, everybody. Too much panting and yelling has caused my brain to short out with air. Whew, okay. Now that I thought about it, that was actually a lot like how my old man liked to teach me. He wasn't very good at it, and usually just showed me his moves and expected me to plagiarize them from there. That was his method of choice, the method I had grown up with and gotten used to. That was probably why I'd been able to catch on to Tomoe-sama's movement so quick and mimic them so well. Oh, so sorry, everybody. Oh my god. Okay. That was his method of choice, the method I had grown up with and gotten used to. That was probably why I'd been able to catch on to Tomoe-sama's movement so quick and mimic them so well.
Now then, you have indeed shown me the fruits of your labor. But, before we have lunch, methinks there is one more bit of training I'll have to do.
One more? Do you mean vigor training?
Hey now, don't be so overeager. Honestly, you were panting for breath but a moment ago. But once you heard that, suddenly you're bursting with energy.
I literally jumped up at the moment. I literally jumped up at the moment Tomoe-sama hinted at some vigor training, and she stared at me, visibly astonished by my sudden show of energy. That's because it's not just martial arts. I want to do my best and improve. I'm a worthy man, but that training too. So, what sort of thing will we be doing today? Whatever it is, I'll give it my utmost effort. I really was eager, but what could I say? It was only just yesterday that I had my first time, after all. It hadn't helped at all that Tomoe had made me wait to have it, even when I'd been so excited and ready to go. Thanks to that, now the mere thought of doing it caused so many wild ideas to careen through my mind. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this. I wanted to try that. I wanted to do this. I wanted to try that. There were just so many new first times that I wanted to have. Oh God, please help me. Okay. I wanted to do this. I wanted to try that. There were just so many new things that I wanted to have. Okay.
Yada yada. First, help you calm down a bit. The way you're so consumed by desire, it's making me not even want to do it. It's proving you're worthy man. If proving you're a worthy man is what you aspire to do, then first you must remember it is not your own satisfaction you must consider, but the satisfaction of your partner.
My partner's satisfaction? Well, of course. What's wrong with me, Kazuma? That is what you must focus on.
Indeed, if it's no one but yourself that you seek to satisfy, then it's no different from when a man and woman come together for relations. When a man and woman come together for relations, it means they both will work together to satisfy each other. You must consider the heart of your partner. One might say it is similar to the martial arts in that way.
The heart of my partner? But just how do I do that? I mean, I had only just had my first time yesterday. I knew the basics of sex through a number of girly magazines and DVDs I had, but that was pretty much the full extent of my knowledge, and something told me the relations shown in those materials weren't quite what Tomoe-sama was getting at.
For example, you should look for signs your partner gives and read them to find out what they want to do and perform from there. Then while you do that, you should be smart with your movements and find out where makes them feel best, and make that your target. Even this is rather difficult to explain with words alone. Once again, it seems that actually showing you will be the best way to teach you, won't it? Alright then, what say you? You've worked hard for this morning's practice, so this is your reward. I'll even let you choose what method I'll show you, whelp. Just what method I'll show you, whelp. Will it be how to service your partner, or how to have relations with them? Pick whichever you want to learn, and I'll show them to you.
Which do I want to learn? If we could, I'd like to learn both of them, but...
Fool, if the aim is to learn the method, then it's not good to cram so many of them all in one day, so be not in a hurry. Fool, if the aim is to learn the method, then it is not good to cram so many all into the way. Okay, wait. It is not good to cram so many all into one. Okay. Then it is not good to cram so many into one day. Be not in a hurry.
Right. Can't blame the guy for trying, but no, Tomoe-sama was not about to go along with that idea. Alright, so which will I choose? How to service your partner, how to spice up your relationship?
Really, I was interested in both of them, but if she was forcing me to choose just one, then...
I'll let you guys decide. Hold on, wait, let's go back here. Okay, hold on, I gotta do this again, okay. Okay, one second, I wanna just do this. I wanna try this, I wanna try that, I wanted to do this, I wanna try that. There were just so many new first things that I wanted to have! Okay, so now I'll just scroll all the way down. Okay, and here. Okay, fine. So that's all the time we got for this, and everybody, thank you so much for watching. Sorry for totally losing it towards the end. Just ran out of breath and air. Anyway, which one do you guys want to see? Will it really matter? I wonder. Well, which one do you guys want to see though? How to service your partner, how to spice up your relationship. I mean, not much is going to be seen, with the whole censoring I gotta do, but all's good, fam. Which one do you want to see? Because there might be different dialogue, fam. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this, please like below, and if there's any other games you'd like me to play or just want to talk, please comment down below as well. If you like this and like some more, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bells. That'd be epically appreciated of you. And as always, my name is CherryBoy, and I'm gonna have to make you guys smile. And there might only be one gameplay today. I'm not sure. This has been like almost 40 minutes long, so it might be, maybe not. I don't know yet. But yeah, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my backup channel, CherryBoy 2, because I got a warning recently. And yes, fam, thank you guys so much for like 980 something subs now. You guys are the greatest. We're so close to 1,000, fam. Let's do it. Face reveal at 1K. Let's go, fam. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and for the support you guys have been showing me. You guys are the best. And as always, my name is CherryBoy. My goal in life to make you guys smile. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye. See ya.